as soon as possible. Look at your management practices, take care of your staffing challenges, and work around that. If you've got issue with staffing challenge, I won't tell you that there's no problem everywhere. Staffing challenge is currently one of the biggest maintenance in the agricultural sector. However, chatting us up, we could look into maybe a lasting solution that could work for you and that would not put you into much wait time as much as possible. We'll try our best, but then of course we are not promising any super action. No, because we are also humans and we should not promise things that we know is not representing our care, because staffing solutions are human resource oriented and you don't know everybody in Nigeria. You don't even know your neighbor, not talk of even someone that is from a different region entirely. So that's that basically about that. Your management practice has to be very, very good. After you're done, ensure that in the second day of our conversation, we talked about the power of planning, right? We talked about the power of planning. That's what you do before your farming activities determine what you actually get after the farming. So with that in mind, it means that your planning has to be good, your marketing projections have to be great, and then you have to keep a good relationship with your market system so that at the end of the day you will never be stranded in terms of where to sell your product or who to sell your product to and for how much would you be selling the product. You need to understand the times and season of your harvest, as that is very important. And of course, as I wrap up, right, because it is 11:20 already and we need to give room for question and answers should there be any. And as I wrap up, I want to finish with what I started with, that uh, it is your duty as the owner of a farm or as an intending farmer to always find out new varieties for the commodities you are producing, whether it is annual commodity, whether it is perennial commodity or biennial community, called commodity rather, whatever it is you're producing, it is your duty to know and find out if there are improved varieties for it that would come under shorter time, that would ensure that you meet multiple production per season and that will allow you to survive better. If there are drought resistant products, you need it because of periods when rain could go on a glitch for 2 to 3 weeks in your environment. So if there's drought resistant, please look for that. If there's fast yielding, look for that. Right? I understand what these things mean. Please don't just say because they said it is better means I'm jumping on it. No, understand what are the requirements for that new varieties so you can communicate or you can take it up. It's very, very important. Once all of this is done, right, we are confident, fairly confident that your yield would be substantially increased and then you can start earning well better than you were when you started. With that stated so far, I would want to bring in Inka to equally add one or two things to what have been said so far. As I said, he started with the O overall, and I would like to see him fix his final part with. After which, Olaoluwa can now jump into the question and answer session for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to me. I'm so thrilled you allowed me this time to communicate the little I've got from my years of experience. Over to you, Olayinka. If you're there, kindly unmute and take over the center stage.
Okay, so thank you once again. Dini, I want to believe you can hear me.
Yes, I can. I can hear you very well.
Okay, so that's it. A lot has been said. So from paying attention to the quality of the input, you're putting uh, into your farm, to ensuring that your management practices is also top notch in terms of labor within or application of either fertilizer or herbicide or pesticide, as the case may be. So I think what I would just want to put your attention to, or from my side of things, is the fact that I've said initially that as much as the planning phase is very, very important, you really need to count your costs. And I think what I ended with yesterday, I want to also rephrase again today, is the fact that ensure that you do not plan beyond your means, what your capacity is able to take. You know, if it is a plot, yes, Don't say because you have available to you an acre of land, you want to do the 1 acre. You know, try to understand what you can actually maximize. If it is half a plot, if it is 200 square meter, this is what you should engage with. That is the first place I want you to, to start from. And then you can now begin to look at the quality of the input, try as much as possible to know which is the best quality of input you want to put. If it is cassava, if it is maize, if it is oil palm, like you said, if it is cashew, if it is mango, there are several hybrids available right now. So understand your end goal, which is your market. If it is something that you want uh, to start and finish quickly, like you said, 1.5 months maize is already available. You can lay your hands on it. And in cycles, well, if you don't have money to do irrigation, just ensure it is when the rain starts. Then you know that every 2 months, that is the way your cycle is going to be. Just give yourself 2 months to cultivate, to plant. Then the next 1 week, you cultivate, you plant again. Now, if it is cassava, give yourself a cycle of 7 months because the crop will take around 6 months to grow. Then just 1 extra month for you to plant and prepare your farm and yourself. So these are things you should look at, and also how you're going to manage the operations that happens in between. I will tell you again, me was mentioning yesterday, we ventured into 4 acres of cucumber when we were to be doing one, and found that our capacity could not manage that and we failed. So that's the practical example I want to lay out for you. And why was because we did not have the labor, we could not have access to the labor to manage that aspect for us. We had to also become the laborer ourselves, and it stretched us thin during those periods. So check, and also the kind of reading you want to engage. Who are those that are going to be doing it for you? The kind of fertilizer you want to, if it is organic or inorganic fertilizer, where and how do you want to apply it? If you need to intercrop your farm also too, of course, I always encourage that to intercrop, but you need to understand these things so that you don't do them out of context. So you can combine, of course, commonly can combine your cassava with your maize. You can combine your maize with your beans. You can put your maize, and if you're opportunity to do melon around it, or you can do potato or yam and maize. These are combinations you could consider if you are looking for short term. If you're looking for long term, you could do your oil palm and put a few plantain or banana in between. You can do your cashew and put what's it called now, plantain in between. You can, if it is purple you want to do, if it is orange you want to do, that is if you have access to the farmland, as the case may be. These are some of the combinations also you can. And at the end also too, always put a lot of energy when you have done your planting very well. You ensure that you are able to manage, the planting and pre-planting, post-planting process. You need to work on how to sell your produce also too. It's not enough for you to produce large sum or get a huge output. You need to learn the art of negotiation. Some farmers right now, one of the reasons why they fail to make the best out of their output is even they know that they've got the best out of the land, but they could not convert it into revenue because of their negotiation skills. Is that okay? Every farmer at this point, you just have to learn it. You just have to learn it. And you learn it on the job. No, I don't know how they teach that one. I don't know how they teach me negotiation, or is there a way it is taught? Just know that
it's a life lesson, They can even teach you and you might not even understand it. Because they are the heat of the negotiation. There are some gimmicks, there are some body language, there are some word choices, there are some perceptive activities that comes with it. That if you don't have them, you could either bend too early or stay too stiff and then you
Yeah.
lose out.
So the you need to learn the diplomacy. I'm not saying you should be what's this English word now? To be greedy, you know. Um, if I judge you, is that okay? But you should understand what the cost of your production is, what the value of your product is, and the kind of margin you're expecting on it, and play within that margin. You know, uh, some of us is like Ini said, is either we cower early or we stay stronger too much. You just have to be in between. You have to be able to do that because everybody outside now is looking to get the best out of everybody. That is just it. So who you want to sell to is looking to get the best out of you, and you're looking to get the best out of them. So it's just no hard feelings. So you need to learn how to get the best out of whatever production it is you make. And yeah, like I said, you have to learn on the job. So I think we're going to take a pause in that regard. I hope you've gotten one or few things out of the conversation
Yes.
this afternoon.
I think we cannot stress that enough. I just think probably if we have good time, we can find good time again to create something like this. I think we could just talk about the power of sales and the techniques in selling. I think that will come handy for a lot of farmers that already have gotten a grip on production processes and they just need to get the best out of profitability value. Because I think that will be a completing part to this topic. Because the promise is 100% guaranteed promise, guaranteed solution and promise. So if we're going to ensure that they're able to get 100% guaranteed profits, then of course we have to teach them how to be able to sell or buy. And then it's very, very important that we teach those things. I think we will find time. We'll talk about this in the back room to see how we could help with this. But nonetheless, Ola, come and dance your dance on the center stage. All right.
All right, thank you, Mr. Nee. And Mr. Yinka, always nice to hear your voice. So I say your voice is really soft and calm, this feel. How do you call it now? It's fluffy.
What is around doing with this afternoon? This?
No,
No, but
Ola is
just
fingering
that's
your
a
brain. Ola is just fingering your brain. So by the time he's done, he will get
okay.
back to question and answers.
It's just the way big people that have knowledge like to how about Einstein, right? So
Yeah.
they are none of
Wow.
agriculture.
Man, Ola full
And
ground.
Mr. Nee, I think category of maybe Oppenheimer, someone that invented something. That's the way you guys talk. But then it's always lovely to sit down, have a chat like this with you when audience or people come around to listen to all that you already know in agriculture. So I'm trying to look through the LinkedIn. I'm not seeing any question yet, but maybe there's one simple question that I would like to ask as always. And this is also just for every other person to learn, the learning opportunity for all of us. All right. So let me ask my question quickly. Maybe before Ms. Gracie or Mr. Nee, perhaps if you can read some of the questions on the WhatsApp page, because I am the one following LinkedIn for now. All right, quickly. You mentioned something concerning someone who used a liter of herbicides to, is it fertilizer herbicides, spraying on the farm. And then I'm wondering that why could they, do you want to kill your own plant, Gogoni? That's a different level of ignorance, if you ask me. But then, looking at an effective way to control biological pests, I mean, biological pest control methods, how would you ensure the effectiveness and safety of that particular control, especially in scaling up for large scale agriculture? Large scale agriculture, how do you ensure effectiveness in controlling biological pests? I hope you got that.
Yes, and I'm thinking that maybe Inka should answer that.
Using,
I'm thinking so.
okay,
That Inka should answer
all
that.
right.
But also, before Inka answers that, I want to see that does anybody have questions from the WhatsApp platform. If you do, you of course you are free to unmute your mic and then of course ask. I would communicate what you ask. I'm currently using an hands free to listen to what you have to say so that I can get to hear everything you have to say clearly. So, but basically, if you've got question, Mr. Kintoye, our audience with number ending 4378 and our audience ending 8165. If you have any question, you could just unmute and then we'll communicate your questions to the LinkedIn participant as well. Then we'll answer it together and learn from it. But if they are not, of course, it's equally fine. You can always ask these questions much more later. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be now. All right. So, Inka, you can answer the question now. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Lolly. Now, one thing I would like to know to tell you is the fact that majorly in Nigeria right now, what we practice is more inorganic uh, weed management and pest management, the use of chemicals. It's organic rather, not inorganic. Now, now talking about biological, it's not something that is very common. But if at all you want to do that, it's I think that what I would say is about your management practices. Ensure that your farm is always weeded. You don't allow weeds accumulate enough that it begins to draw as much pest as you begin to trouble your farm. Is that okay? And if at all you want to use um, what's it called now? Some is it inorganic solution, to combat. I think there are some that are being created right now. Right for I think the use of neem oil. Is it neem oil now solution for both weed management and pest management. I still got some neem oil for a client. I think was it through Gracie now, some couple of months ago. So personally for me, it's not something I'm used to, but I know some persons who are in that line. So we just need to find information about that. But what I'm going to say is biologically, you need to pay attention to your farm management. So if your weed control is good, I think reduce pest on your and not the farm that ensure that also if you have farmers, you don't allow your neighbors become too weedy because one way or the other it affects yours. And maybe something that you are in an enclosed environment good for you. So always ensure that that is done. If you do that, then I think you're safe. Thank you.
All
All
right.
right. Thank you, Mr. Lee. Mr. Inka. Do you want to say something to that, Mr. Lee?
No, no, no. I'm not saying something to that. I just want to drag our
Okay.
attention to the timing, and also once again ask if any
Okay.
of our WhatsApp audience have any question they would like to ask, so we could wrap up. We've said 1 hour consistently, and we found ourselves exceeding 1 hour. I think it's not something I want to encourage too long of. Are there any questions from our WhatsApp community? I don't think there is. Thank you so much. Oh, it was like Anthony saying something. Beautiful. Mr. Akintoye, if there's any questions they need to ask, they'll be dropping it on the WhatsApp platform. That's okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Akintoye. We are grateful for your time once again. So, Olaoluwa, the wrap up is on your hands. Kindly do the wrap up so we could release all our participants.
All right. Thank you very much. So,
So, okay, I think someone asked question,
wonderful.
Olaoluwa. Kindly hold on, please. All right, sorry.
Okay.
Audience with number ending 4378, you have a question or you want to say something? Hello? Yeah, I'm listening to you. Good afternoon. You're welcome. Oh, thank you. We really appreciate that. We are so grateful for your feedback. We actually hope to keep doing more for you and for every other person that joins us. Thank you so much. Thank you. We appreciate your time. All right. So we are receiving appreciations here on WhatsApp. Mr. Ruben wants to say something. Okay. For all benefits.
Hello, Mr. Lee, are you still there?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, Mr. Ruben. We are very, very happy to bring it to you. Mr. Ruben just confirmed the cassava soup, and he actually tasted it firsthand, and he has great testimonies for it, and there were wonderful experiences for him, and he of course is appreciating us for what we've done. I am sorry, I'm using my hands free to listen to the WhatsApp session, so it doesn't glitch with the live streaming platform, and equally to ensure that the my other phone, my second phone actually has a bit of volume distortion, so it would not actually bring out a very clear audio. So that's why those on LinkedIn were not able to hear a bit all the beautiful and encouraging things Mr. Owen had said. But of course, he had affirmed what we've come to know, that this the leaf is a great addition, health benefit wise, and even palatability in soup as much as possible. And he has affirmed to that. So I think that's that basically about one. All I know, also with theory, we go take up other things.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Lee, and everyone who was a part of this. So it was just such a wonderful time to have you once again today. And like we mentioned when we began, that this is the day three of a 4-day webinar series, and tomorrow will be the climax. And do you want to join me to just kindly appreciate the speaker, Mr. Nee and Mr. Yinka? Mr. Nee began with us the first day. Mr. Yinka joined yesterday. So maybe with an ovation or with a little clap from our different spaces. Just want to quickly clap to appreciate the speakers so far. And we hope that you will be here tomorrow once again, the last day. And just like I mentioned yesterday, please invite those who you feel that they also need to get more knowledge from all that we've been seeing so far. And tomorrow promises to be much more exciting than the first 3 days, all right? So thank you very, very much, and please do have a wonderful and lovely day. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Audience on WhatsApp
Yeah.
and those on LinkedIn. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Bye. Yeah, bye.
All right,
Hello.
sir.
Yes, thank you, Olaoluwa. Do
Yeah.
have a wonderful day. Would reconvene in private and pick up. Well done. Well
No
done for the
wala.
3 days.
Yes, sir. Bye, sir.
Yeah, bye.
Yes, sir. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, man, that was plenty. As per the call will not stop coming in. Let me quickly check what the issue is.
They made it known that it is possible. Some might beg to differ or might even think otherwise how feasible that seems. But then we got some first knowledge and information regarding those bits. And today we'll discuss see on the radio. Because they just like he said it's quite tricky and it's technical. So the topic this morning reveals unveiling cutting edge solutions to boost your crop yield. And once again, we have Mr. Ni, Adini Shuremi here, and also Olainka Deluba, who have also been in the agricultural space for a number of years, very good number of years, and they'll be explaining to us in the next 1 hour and what have you. So I believe that you can all hear me, our audience, and once again, it's really nice to have you join us this morning, this beautiful morning, and do well to relax, sit back, and enjoy the ride as try to hold you the cutting edge solutions that will boost your crop yield. All right, so let me make welcome Mr. Dumi Shuremi, and you can have the mic, sir. Good morning to you.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, Olaoluwa. Good morning. So typically, I would want to start by acknowledging that we've got participants in our WhatsApp call group. Like there are about two people that came in not quite long. Mr. Ruben is with us on our WhatsApp platform. Likewise, we equally have. Oh yes, yes, yes. Good morning. Good morning. Yes. So we have also, of course, beautiful, beautiful. We really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Amen. 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 You're welcome. You're welcome. So Mr. Ruben just passed across um his prayers for us and his appreciation of what we're doing. So yes, shortly before she left, Professor Miana was equally on the WhatsApp call, not quite so long. We hope she joins us or he joins us back, as I don't know if it's he or she for now. So I hope the person joins back. But in the meantime, yes, thank you. If you are currently seeing this on the LinkedIn channel, you can always introduce yourself by just letting us know your name, and we'll be able to acknowledge you as well on the call. So today is day 3, as Olalo had pointed out. Yes, it's been 3 days of back-to-back knowledge sharing, and the finale is tomorrow, right? And tomorrow's, trust me, it's just the most literal topic so far. Like tomorrow's topic is so literal, and it's something we know and all our participants will enjoy. I also want to bring to our notice that we have another participant joining us on the WhatsApp channel. Well, his name is Mr. Olusegun, Mr. Said. Yes, Mr. Olusegun Said. He has just joined us on our WhatsApp channel. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Olusegun Said. We are thrilled to have you. Um, of course, you can always let us know along the line if you've got questions. We'll be happy to answer them. You could go to our LinkedIn. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you so much for your time being here. So if you've got question while we are having our conversation, you could wait to the end of the conversation and ask, or if you want to ask before the end, you could just go right to the LinkedIn and drop the question in the comment section of that link you post. When you click the link for LinkedIn, it takes you to a page. There's a comment section there. You just put the question there. We'll see it live on our StreamYard platform. That is where we're streaming from right now. We're streaming to the WhatsApp, like as well as we're streaming to LinkedIn. So we're streaming to two major places at the same time as well. So now with that said, come to today's topic. I want to first of all bring my co-host, Mr. Inka, into the front line. Mr. Inka, can you hear me? Mr. Inka, can you hear me? Your Yes,
Yes, good morning. Once again, I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me as
beautiful.
well?
I can. We're communicating. So, I wanted to first of all draw your attention to the topic we're having today. As I said yesterday, being my partner in crime for 9 years, you grab partner in good crimes, though not bad crimes, good crimes. Yes, putting a shame to the evil plans of this world. I don't want food security to move around. So it's we are the criminal against such agendas, right? So being my partner in that for almost 9 years now. With the topic, you studied agronomy in school, right? That is what you did, and I believe you are the best suited academical person for this topic, even though we've done the practicals together, right? But talking about the academic qualification, you are like the best suited person to have this conversation. And so, since that is the case, we just have to let honor go to whom honor is due to, which is you in this instance. Anyway, so we're talking about unveiling cutting edge solutions to boost your crop yield, right? And so that topic sits perfectly fine in your purview. And so, I want to hear what you have to say to that topic first, right? What do you believe this cutting edge solution can be that can actually take crop yield to the positive light, right? And what do you think is the part? Of course, remembering that our touchline is, of course, we are hoping to introduce our farm clients to operations that talk about precision farming and also help them understand maximizing productivity and using the solutions we are going to advise them on, and also ensure that they are able to get 100% guaranteed profits. That's not profit for reasons, so we should always together. Profit not on invest. Profit is you actually do a project at the level and then it's actually 50% that profits. Now that is what the statement means. Not 100% return on investment. So we don't control, we don't confuse it together. So with that stated, Yinka, I hope you're ready to come and dance on the center stage.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Benny. It's been amazing years, working alongside you, gathering experience, to get. I think I always say to the audience that if you are in the crop producing space, you are an hero. Crop producers are lifesavers because um, hard work. Next month is food, like water, and we are taking that out. Then we are sure that we have a lot of food to go and do. So I always say, if you are here and you're a crop producer, you are an hero. So let me give you your flowers. It doesn't matter how the quantity of your production. It might just be for your family alone. You might be feeding extra mouths, or you might be doing it on a large scale. See, you are a hero because you are trying to zone that, and you are trying to ensure the security in the name. So guys, kudos to you guys. So let me say that. Let me say that first. So concerning the topic we're going to be looking at today, cutting edge, strategies you can simply to ensure that you use the copy. One time, it always just a farmer to create you. You are always thinking about what can I do differently this year. That is our mindset. That is how we reason. That is how we think. Every year in, year out. Last year you look at, okay, this is what I did. This is how I did it. What can I do differently this year to ensure that my mind is to increase purpose in terms of number of corporate and the energy as well. So there are things that you think about 10 years with your pen, with your biro. Several planning goes into it. After planning also, then you begin to work it. So for me, I think, for no offense to animal farmers.
No. I'm just allowing you just dance and everywhere in the center stage. Like, even though we give you center stage, we didn't ask you to literally covet the whole space. Like, center stage as other place, but you sure wanted to shatter tables. I'm coming for you. After you're done, and I'll now tell you that there's cutting edge in animal science as well.
Yes. But to me, I always see that it's very easy to just go into crop production. Even though he has his own limitations, he has his own downside or downsides. But the way I always see it, I always feel like it's more safer and easy, to go. But as easy as it is, there are certain things you need to pay attention to ensure that you maximize your output. Is that okay? I know you've done a lot in your planning phase, but how do you manage your planting processes? You need to pay attention to first and foremost the planting phase and the pre-planting operations. How do you attend to them? How you manage your labor, how you manage your maybe for those that use herbicide and pesticide, how you weed. These are certain things you need to when you weed. These are certain things you need to pay attention to ensure that you get yourself a good margin when it comes to your output. When do you carry out some of these activities? You know, have you prepared yourself to anticipate when activities are such are going up and provided solutions? So you this time are certain things we're going to be looking out today. Of course, we know when you put into practice or when you take notice of, I can ascertain you that yes, you're going to be, yes, increasing. What kind of combination of crops can you combine together to ensure that yes, you maximize your land? And of course, what kind of practices do you engage with your soil to ensure that you're not, bastardizing the soil because the soil cannot talk. And some people I was talking to a client yesterday? No, last week. And he was saying that they usually use that 1 liter of herbicide to weed a plot of, land. I'm like,
Uh-uh.
how? Even in the description, they tell you it is
As
1
in,
liter to
and
one liter. So
that's serious, so that's serious.
how could you do that? This something is very sharp, something that works fast.
At the
These are
detriment of
things
the at detriment of the consumers.
yes. So these are things we need to look at. If at all you are even using organic herbicide or pesticide, how do you engage these things? So when do you engage them? Yes. So these are many more things I know that Danny and myself will be looking out today. We'll be pointing them out. Like you said, if you have questions along the way, don't forget to drop them in the chat section. Then of course Olawarade will pick them out from there. So once again, co-producers, you guys we are all heroes. That's why I call myself. I'm an hero because I'm putting food on the table of my neighbors and my family and all. So over to you, Dini.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Inka, for that beautiful intro into the concept of cutting edge, availing cutting edge solutions to boost your crop yield. So we have some new audiences on our WhatsApp platform. Gracie had also commented on our LinkedIn as well, and I've communicated what she said through the screen earlier. I believe some of you might have seen it. And also from our WhatsApp group, we've got two new participants join. They are not names are not saved, so I will just have to cut out their numbers, the last 4 digits of their numbers. We've got a participant whose number is ending with 1815. You're welcome. We are grateful for your presence. We are appreciative of your time, and we value your contribution to this session. All right, we equally have another client audience whose last 4 digits end with 6451. We are thrilled to have you on this call. We are grateful for your time, and we are happy you consider us worthy of that time. And then the last person just joined recently, and the number end with 9034. We are equally appreciative of your time. We thank you for your time on this call, and we are grateful you found us worthy enough to share this time with you. We do hope that every participant that have joined us so far would have great experiences from this session and learn a whole lot that would take agricultural endeavor to the next phase. So, of course, while we communicate, I would like to say that if you've got questions along the line, you are free to use our LinkedIn platform to leave your comments. We currently use StreamYard to live stream into two platforms. Currently, we're using that to communicate on WhatsApp. We're currently using that to also post a feed on LinkedIn at the same time. So, but if you go to LinkedIn and make a comment of your question, we can see it from the StreamYard where we're actually broadcasting from. So, and then we can answer those questions real time. However, if you can wait till the end, you will also be given an availability of time, or you'll be avail the time to actually unmute and ask your questions as regarding what's been on your mind as regarding the topic, or even anything around agriculture whatsoever. So in the meantime, when we enjoin you or we admonish you to mute your mic so that there can be less background noise as we are recording these sessions, so it doesn't appear in the background. Thank you so much, even as you mute your microphones. All right, going back to the topic, we're talking about cutting edge solution that on cutting edge solution that can actually boost crop yield. All right. Our participant 9034, whose number is anyway 9034, can you kindly mute so the interference would not be reflected in the recording that is being done? Would you be kind enough to mute your mic? Thank you so much. Kindly mute your mic. Our participants with number ending 9034, kindly mute your mic so that the interference from your background would not interface with the recording. Thank you so much once again as you mute your mic. All right. So coming back to the topic, unveiling cutting edge solution to boost crop yield. Yes, Yinka had made a good case for crop, and then of course it's saying thank you to all the crop farmers out there. You guys are heroes. I don't disagree. Thank you once again to all crop farmers out there, particularly in this time when staffing is now a major challenge in the agricultural sector. Thank you so much for being persistent and being consistent with your commitment to the agricultural sector. We pray that God will reward you with a 100% guaranteed profit at the end of the day. So, with that stated so far now, we are very thrilled for your time in this whole period to learn of us. I also want to say that for those that are into livestock as well, you are also our heroes, right? Every day, hundreds of millions of egg is produced and used for production across different space. Though some are eaten raw, some are used by Meshai. Even the egg that is used by Meshai in a day is in millions. Not now even talk of the confectionery industry, right? Those people also use hundreds of millions of egg per day, and that's why the livestock farmer also are our heroes as well. I'm making case for them in case you're not taking notes. I'm making case for the livestock farmers as well, right? Because I actually studied animal science in school. My background was animal nutrition and biotechnology, and why I and Inka was agronomy. We were both in the same school. In case you've not heard of our background story, we were roommates for years, and we were able to do so much together in so little time.
We are together on this, sir. We are united.
You just have to jump in the middle and also make your own case. It's okay. We are together in it as well. Truly, we are. So back to championing our livestock farmers as well. Yes, their impact is also making things work. We'll also make webinars about cutting edge solutions to boost livestock farmers in the future. Right now, we'll just go back to focusing on crop yield. So what is cutting edge solutions generally, if that word is being used, right? What does it mean to have cutting edge solutions, right? In simple term, right? All cutting edge solution referred to is just having an innovative, an advanced approach or technology that represents the most current and forward-thinking actions for a particular business ideas or solution, right? So, as I said, it means you're having an innovative approach to something, a technological approach to something, and it represents the most current and in vogue methodologies. For example, yes, the first day we started this webinar, I talked about the fact that there are now varieties of 1.5 months maize. Maize that are produced within a month and a half. Yes, there are now products like that. A friend of mine in ITA said that there's now that variety of maize that you can produce in the beginning on the 1st of April, and you can harvest them on the 15th or 16th of May, right? Imagine what that could do. Like, just imagine the possibility of that operations. It means that you could rain in the southwest starts from some places February, in some places March, but let's assume generally on March, rainfall on 1st of March, and then you planted. It means by 15th of April you've harvested your wet maize. Then if you do your preparation again by 1st of May again, start another one. 15th of June you've harvested the second batch. You prepare again by 1st of July, you plant another one. That on 15th of August, harvest again. 1st September, you plant another one. 15th of October, you harvest again. If that is the case, it means that you've only increased the production value of a farmer fourfold, right? So if that farmer is able to produce one tonnage from his farm in a year, you've increased that by one planting cycle. A farmer is able to produce 1 ton of maize in one planting cycle. By making that 1.5 month variety available to the farmer, you've only increased his output fourfold, right? Fourfold, and that is not small feat at all, right? It's very, very important to know that cutting edge solutions for crop yield talks about the most advanced approach, right? The most in vogue approach, the newest technology or the newest approach that actually represent the most current and forward thinking solution. And these are all the things that actually matter when you talk about cutting edge solutions. And let me tell you one truth that is like most forward is the fact that except Nigeria have a lot of this going across many commodities in the crop space, food security would always be a far-fetched topic, right? Food security will always be a far-fetched topic. Except Nigeria has a lot of cutting-edge solutions in terms of commodities. The same way one and the almond maize, the same one and the almond beans, cowpea, the same one and the almond egg gardens, the same one and the almond cocoa. Same one which you want that action to go round. Right? Want it to go round because that is the only way we are able to meet food security challenges, right? When all of this is out there, then you are certain that one, the farmer can make more in a year doing rain-fed farm, right? Rain-fed farm for reference purposes is your farming activities that is being determined by rainy season or wet season, right? That's rain-fed farm. Now, all year-round farm is a farming operation that is integrated, is an hybrid between the rain-fed period as the wet season and the dry season. Then dry season you employ techniques like irrigation, different type of irrigation, drip system, surface irrigation, subsurface irrigation to make sure that food production does not stop, right? And like I said, there are some products that you don't even need irrigation. All year round, you can farm them without any disturbances, hindrances, or challenges. Like there are many of them that could be farmed like that continuously. Example is cassava. For example, your cassava can grow all year round, and that is very, very important to know that at least you will not have any breakage in production. And that can grow year round is your cocoyam as well. You can grow all year round, right? And there are other products as well that you can pick up and use. Many of the perennial projects, perennial commodities actually can stay all year round. All the perennial projects, that's 2 years worth of all those commodities that can stay 2 years, jatropha, castor, all those things actually can withstand the dry season and actually withstand grow into the next season. So those are things that they largely, even yam in some cases, right? If you do it very well, because you plant yam around February, majorly in major yam producing states in Nigeria, you put them inside this ground in February, and then you harvest them around November, October, November, December, depending on how the variety of the yam and how big it's gonna be, or the onset of the maturity. Because once the yam is ready for harvest, there are signs from that yam that goes forward. Just 1 minute, even as I interject, there are some of our audience that have come in and left. I forgot to introduce them. So, in the light of that, I want to quickly acknowledge the presence of a new audience whose number, we don't have number saved, so the number is ending with 4378, right? So our audience with number ending 4378, thank you so much for joining us. We really are grateful for your time on this call, and we're appreciative of your commitments, and we are not taking for granted the time you've chosen to spend with us. We also have another audience, Mr. Fayo Wiwa. Yes, I think we've had him in our pool in the past as one of our audience, and we've saved him since then. But he's joined us today again to grace our seminar or our webinar with his presence. Thank you so much, Mr. Fayo Wiwa. We are so grateful for your time, and we are grateful you decided to spend it with us. Now, one audience is currently having issues with his or her network. I don't know if it's a he or her, but the number ending is 3293. Of course, once it's back, or him or her is back, we'll do proper introductions there. Now, going back to our conversation, yes, We what want to do today is unveil you these cutting edge solutions. Don't just decide to plant anything you see. That's very important. Always inquire. Even in the perennial project space, like the cashew, cocoa, oil palm, right? There are cutting edge solutions that would boost production. For example, in the oil palm space, there's a breed they call the super gene. I think Inca was looking for it at some point in time. There's a super gene breed, yes, and that super gene variety was actually created to produce multiple harvest, to bring up more bountiful harvest and in shorter span. So you have the super gene within 3 years, you're typically looking at harvest coming in through with super gene, right? You're expecting harvest to come in through with super gene variety. And within 2 3 years, your super gene is giving you the earliest form of harvest compared to the old variety that you have to five harvest in. Of course, except you won't know that there are such available for you to harvest from. So you need to inquire, even if you're in the perennial space, farming space, inquire what is available and obtainable. In 1 minute, we have new audiences that are there, and we like to ensure that we draw attention to their presence on WhatsApp, on our WhatsApp platform. We have a number ending 7594 to our events. We have very good time. Thank you, join us. We are great that you've time joining us. Even more what we will communicate present. Talk is a bit unfriendly to many, as many had come in and gone out of network glitches. Ms. Gracie is one of our handlers on the WhatsApp group that is present to ensure that she document everybody present. No, Madam Gracie, be kind enough to kindly document numbers of people coming in so that those that actually misses this webinar, we could push them a recorded version of the same. All right, because I think several numbers have come and gone, so we can have proper record of them. Kindly help us document that so that we can, or you can take a screenshot as well. That works. So I think with that stated, all our audience on the WhatsApp will kindly mute your mic. If you've got question, we'll appreciate if you can use the link to the LinkedIn to write your questions while the seminar is going on or the webinar is going on. But if you're able to wait till the end, of course, you'll be given a time to unmute your mic and ask your question, and we'll be more than happy to answer them all. Thank you so much. All right, so getting back to the topic, right? It is the farmer's responsibility to always inquire different new varieties that is out there, right? There are many organizations in Nigeria and across Africa that is investing heavily into improving the varieties of various products, right? They are doing these things. Some of them are doing it out of there's some of them are NGOs that are doing it with international funding, while some are doing it with the help of the local funding, that's from the government and other private institutions, while some are doing it of their own business accord, right? Example of people doing it from international standpoint are, of course, IFAD sponsors a lot of indigenous research institutes, the Seed Research Institutes, the Premier Seed, and many other people. IFAD sponsors them. We have the UNIDO as well, sponsoring as well, many people to be able to keep seed improvements going as well. We have ITA who have their own independent sponsor network, the CGIAR, that they have their own independent network. They keep improving varieties as well, right? And then we have local guys as well that does their own by themselves. So of course, it's your duty to try and find out what improved variety do these people have to help ensure that your production is faster. You don't have to waste too much time having results, and then you can also get good yield. For example, talk about cassava. Like if you're talking about products that have one of the best track record of improvement in Nigerian history, it is cassava. It is no wonder that Nigeria is the largest cassava producing nation in the world. I want to get the metric ton for cassava so I can always speak with facts. If you've always been in a webinar I anchor, you will know by now that I'm always trying to make facts like seamlessly communicated. I don't like vague parts. So the world tonnage of cassava in 2021, the world produced 308 million tons of cassava. Of course, and Africa produced, out of that 308 million, Africa was responsible for 203 million out of that production. And that is the truth. Now, it will be interesting to know that out of all of this, Nigerian statistics in this value is astronomical, right? Astronomical. Nigeria as at 2021 or even 2024 metric tons, or just 2021 produced 63.03 million tons. Now that's a reduction. I won't lie because as at a few years ago, Nigeria was even producing as much as 150 million metric ton. I don't know what happened in 2021 that will produce 63 million, but that was the data as at 2021. Out of the whole 203 million that Africa produced, Nigeria produced 63 million out of all that value, and followed by the Democratic Republic of Congo, and then Thailand, Ghana, Brazil, Indonesia. Those are the rank of how people produce cassava. But why is Nigeria being like the flag bearer for this? I will tell you why, right? People like IT and the rest have come a long way in reducing the duration of cassava that it takes to mature. When I was still in primary school, what we knew about cassava was that it takes 15 to 18 months to get mature, and there are some early varieties back then that takes 13 months to mature. Now fast forward to 2021, 2022, there are some cassava varieties that actually matures in 8 months. I think Inca actually got some of those breed last year when they planted cassava, some of the 8 month maturing cassava breed, right? Beyond that as well, we now have a lot of cassava varieties that we have some that are now vitamin A fortified. So like by producing them, they have.
We talked about 6 months now, sir.
Are you serious? There's now 6 months as well.
Yeah, sure.
Beautiful, beautiful. I believe the audience can hear that. They are now even 6 month variety. I didn't even know about that 6 months. All I still know was the 8 months you discussed with me last year. That I was still telling you that's a very great thing actually. Now with that in mind, now it means cassava can be produced 2 times in a year. And that's very very commendable, right? And I believe this is how IT is working. I believe this IT is still right. Inka, are you there? I believe this is also how IT is doing. Okay, so Inka is currently not unmuted. All right, so but
You mean
basically,
for cassava? You mean for cassava, sir?
yes, for cassava, yes, cassava.
Yeah.
You mean for cassava?
Unmuted.
Yeah, I
It's
think
high, yes, high.
All right, beautiful. It's IT. We
yeah,
got
6 months. It's actually 6 months. That's the least.
yes. So that's beautiful. So we just have Inka and Olaola confirm the 6 month variety, and also just to quickly branch a bit, we have Mr. Adeshino Oyelami Agritech and Business Management. He just joined us on LinkedIn. We are so grateful for your time, and we are thankful that you decide to share the time with us. We do hope if you have any questions and contributions, you would equally use the in-call messages or the comment sections to communicate them. Thank you so much for your time. And also on the WhatsApp platform, our audience whose number ends with 3293's network has stabilized a bit. And we want to acknowledge the participants to let the participant know that we are grateful for his or our time on our call this morning, and we hope that quantifiable knowledge will be passed across. Thank you so much. Now, going back to what we were discussing. Now, cassava is that product that come a long way in Nigeria, right? We've come a very, very long way in producing it. Having the largest share of production in the world, similar to how Cote d'Ivoire is holding cocoa at ransom, and then there and Ghana is holding cashew at ransom, right? It's the same way we're holding cassava at ransom. And come to think of it, I was saying it in the first day's webinar that cassava's value is astronomical, right? And funny enough, we can actually use cassava to replace wheat. I don't know why we are suffering with wheat and drama when we can literally replace cassava. Everything wheat can do, cassava can do, right? And I'm talking about because I used to have a one of the senior colleague in one of the leading FMCG company out there, like one of the biggest leader there is, and it was telling us that day that they've done a research and they've actually practicalized the research, and they know that cassava can do everything wheat can do for them. And the question I asked was, why are you not in cassava? And then it was like, when you are about adopting new technologies, there are some initial costs that usually come with it. However, in many countries, what they do in many countries is they try to make the initial barrier to entry for those products easy or lower. So what they do typically is that they try their best to ensure that the clients, whatever the client need, they could provide subsidy in equipment, they could provide loans that could have a lot of business adopt this technology early. There are several ways that the government can champion these things, that even though they know and they've done it in their lab to know that this is actually possible, in real sense, what happened is the government is not doing enough in terms of making adoption easy, right? But he's telling me as a fact that everything wheat can do, cassava can do for us, right? Of course, it says we might express a little bit of difference in the taste, but it's just going to be the same value. And it was emphasizing, and what he said was also true, because at the time we had a program at the landmark, the popular landmark that is causing controversy now with the Lagos Calabar Coastal Road issues. That popular landmark that is in the news, yes, we had a program there about 2020, when, oh no, 2021. Yes, 2021, yes. When we went there to have a program there, and they showcased food, and they had to do like this free tasting part outside the landmark hall itself, where they were doing meat pies, they were doing different confectionaries, different small chops, and all buns and everything. And everything they were doing there, the cake, the bread, everything was done with cassava. Cassava was the only product they used for all the frying and baking that they used on that in that place. What more? I don't know if Spa still does it, right? Because I used to be a very a big fan of Spa markets in the early days, right? Before ShopRite became a thing, and now in Lagos you can literally see different brands there like Jendo, Joshua, and the rest. But in the early days when I was very loyal to Spa, Spa had bread that was made out of cassava back then, right? And I don't know if they still do right now, but then they had bread that were made of cassava or from cassava flour. So all these things are what shoot up the potential of cassava. The value is just astronomical from the main roots itself to the peel. The peel is livestock feed. You could use it in piggery production, and you could even use it to feed chickens. The only difference is when you're using cassava peel as a feed ration for chicken, you have to go through certain measures. And I think when I was in school, there was a research about that, and they used activated charcoal to counter the effect of the anti-nutritional factors in the ingredients. So, and that way, chicken were able to take that in. They were able to eat the cassava diet because of that presence of that activated charcoal in it. So all of those things are what is there. Even humans use activated charcoals for different things. For example, there are toothpaste that are made from activated charcoal. So this is totally safe and okay. But as I'm trying to explain, they are just endless use of cassava. The stem can be used for reproduction to reproduce, that's stem propagation for cassava. Then even the leaf. In Rwanda, I communicated this in the first day of my webinar. Rwanda as a region actually uses the leaf to make a certain kind of soup, right? They use the leaf to make a certain kind of soup, which means that if that knowledge of that soup and the benefits is marketed publicly or commercialized, it's possible it could even go wider, right? And then before you know, it becomes a wide adoption. So cassava is a completely 100% useful product to us. And of course, no doubt, I think Africa can literally take up the aim of that product and move it far. And I even believe it can work in arid regions. As Taraba, I was in Taraba a while back ago. I was saying that in the first call. And I saw cassava growing in Taraba even as at March ending early April. They are tall cassavas, very tall cassava that you can tell have been existing for almost 7 to 8 months. It's there and still flourishing and surviving, right? That is a testament to the fact that even the northeast, some part of the northeast can produce cassava. I saw it also in Zamfara. It's just that where I saw it in Zamfara, it was close to the water source. So I assume there are elements of irrigation attached to the cassava production. So as I'm saying, if done properly, cassava can literally thrive in every part of Nigeria, and that is the absolute truth. And so because of that, you need as a crop personality or as a crop farmer, you need to ensure that you make the responsibility to find out new varieties of what you produce. There are tomatoes these days now that are the shape of the tomato, you know it before you go into it. I won't lie. There's some sad news I need to explain. Nigeria imports many seeds, right? You see tomato, pepper, cucumbers, radish. Most of them are largely, like 90% of them are imported, right? They are not produced in Nigeria. They can either be repackaged and repacked and rebrand in Nigeria, but they are largely imported. Watermelon, many of those things are imported. Now, the question I usually ask myself is, why can't we produce it? We have a seed institute. Why are you not producing it? But then, at the end of the day, somebody there is, they are trying to improve varieties. Please research about it. And also ensure that you look into other factors, like what your land can work with. The fact that it is improved does not mean it might work with your land. There's high tendency it may not, right? Make sure that you do your soil test. And for soil testing, that brings me there. In case I forget to come back there again later, please, soil test kit is now so cheap that you don't have a reason not to have it as a farm, as a crop farmer, right? It's so cheap and it's a DIY system, like it's a do-it-yourself system. You can literally do the whole testing yourself. I'm being honest here, I'm being concretely honest. You can do it yourself. It's a DIY system, right? It's completely something you can just buy yourself. And some of these test kits you can use it for multiple use, multiple times without any stop. So if you don't are nowhere, if you try to buy and you couldn't buy, of course we also sell and we can sell that to you. It's not really a big deal. But if you know how to get it yourself, please get it and have it on your farm, irrespective, so that you can know what your land is saying, what you want to put. Please don't just pack fertilizer and pour anyhow. And that brings me to my next point. When you're about to incorporate cutting edge technologies or solutions to boost your crop yield, understand that one of the biggest problems we have in Nigeria is an abuse of resources. Yinka talked about it shortly, not quite too long, right? He talked about the abuse of chemicals, and he was giving a personal experience where a farm actually decided to use a complete 1 liter of herbicide, yes, on one plot of land because it wants it to be sharp. It wants the result to be sharper than what he anticipated. But that is not good. That is not right, right? There's nothing normal about that. Despite the fact that the result you want is what you want. 1 complete liter of herbicide should not be used on one plot of land, except you're using it on that one plot on multiple occasions. But it should not be exhausted in one use on a plot of land. It's just not right. It's not right. It's terrible and bad. Right? So these are abuse of resources. Likewise, fertilizer is another thing that there's an abuse going on for it. So I won't lie, in the north, compared to the south, in the north, there are more liberal subsidies around fertilizers than there are in the south. There is also a general wide subsidy. For example, OCP, Indorama urea, most of their fertilizers are already subsidized straight from the government space, right? So their fertilizers are already subsidized. You don't even need to know if it is. It has just like petrol, it has been subsidized from the government up front. But nonetheless, in some other part of the north again, they have further subsidy going on some of these fertilizers. Some fertilizers even have extra subsidy compared to the ones that is in the general space. So in some places in the north, fertilizers are far cheaper in some places in the north compared to the southwest, right? And when you don't get there, you tell them that only a small cup per hole is okay. Is a lie. By the time they are done packing the fertilizer, it's as if they feel like putting 5 cups there is going to help the thing do better. That's not how it works. So the abuse is also there. You can actually take and improve varieties and abuse the requirement. At the end of the day, you will not have a great yield. So when you're trying to apply cutting edge solutions to boost your yield, understand that your chemical usage has to be in check. Your fertilizer usage has to be in check. Your management practice, which is the third thing, has to be astute. 1 minute, please. Thank you so much to our audience on WhatsApp. We have some new audience that we have to acknowledge their presence. Mr. Akintoye is currently on our WhatsApp session. We really appreciate your time. Mr. Akintoye has been one of our upstanding audience over the past few months, and we really appreciate his time today once more. We have another audience whose number is ending with 8165. We want to appreciate you for your time in this call and for your presence on this call. We thank you for choosing to spend your time with us, and we don't take it for granted. In the meantime, we'd also want to advise you to mute your phone, mute your mic, as what we're doing here is currently being recorded. We would hate to have interference in the recording, so that whenever you choose to listen to it again, it will come up with a smooth conversation or a smooth audio. So we would encourage you to mute your mic. Thank you. Our audience with number ending 8165. If you don't mute it, I might be forced to mute it for you. I hope that's okay. All right, thank you. I just muted your mic. I'm sorry that I have to mute it from my hand. I just wanted to make sure that the audio has a good output when we upload it for later revisiting. So thank you. Back to the topic at hand. So as I said, your management practices must be astute. Like, you have to be good. Don't be too far from your farm. I know a lot of us in the southwest are both literal and digital farmers at the same time. Also, I have to say that those following our LinkedIn session, kindly be good enough to leave your questions if you've got any, or we'll see them and we'll attend to them. Thank you. So, as I was saying, your management has to be astute. Many of the farm owners in the southwest and south and southeast, we actually are both literal farmers and digital farmers. And if that is your category, please try your best to be closer to your farm as often as possible. Once in a week or once in 2 weeks is not so bad. Once in a month is equally good.